Every great leader you admire, no matter how much success they show, has something they're still working through. Something real, something unresolved, something that others miss. Today, we're not chasing the polished version of who they are. We're getting real about what's still unfinished, the questions, the struggle, the breakthroughs behind closed doors. I'm Rocky Garza. I've spent over a decade coaching and advising some of the most successful leaders in life and business. And today, we're sitting down with Angelee to uncover the truth behind leadership you rarely get to see. We're not talking about the version of them that you already know. We're talking about the version they don't always show. Let's get into it. I think that you are aware of the impact that you have on other people.
Recently.
Tell me about that.
I think maybe 2 years ago. It was very recent. Eddie and I were having a conversation, and the subject doesn't really matter. We've been together 20 years. We've been together almost 21, married for 13. And we always get tickled when we learn new things about each other. Mm. One of them being, we're talking about emotion, and I'm probably coming from the perspective of like, I'm a lot, and like, I don't mean for this to happen. And he gives me grace and understanding. And he was like, I think you are aware because from a receiving standpoint, it cuts deep, good or bad. But I think your point gets across when you're trying to express whatever it may be. Mm. And I was just like, I hope it just never, it never comes from a disgenuine place. Mm-hmm.
But I think what you just said, so I agree with everything. I would not that in my opinion matters, but I wouldn't disagree with anything that you said. However, I consistently may be too aggressive, but I'm going to be aggressive. But I consistently hear you telling me what you want by describing what you don't more than you do by describing what you do.
Say it one more time.
I hear you more often telling me what it is that you don't want in order to tell me what you do, rather than just tell me what you do. You said just now, I know that I appreciate that, but I just never want it to.
Yeah.
So instead
anything that comes with confidence. We're about to hear like a trifecta, Rocky.
Are
you ready?
We'll hit the
because that comes with confidence, right? Yeah. And that's always been a battle. Mm. Going back to people pleasing. Mm. It's like, it's always serving others. Mm. And then you come across like, wow, it feels selfish to say in these words, but it's like, how am I serving myself?
I agree with that. I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast yet or not, but like for me, because I am just as guilty, okay? That I try to define it for myself like this. That one, asking myself, is what I am doing service or am I doing sacrifice? Okay? Mm-hmm. And sacrifice being defined as the loss of myself in hopes that you love me. And service being the overflow of myself because I love you. And I am very guilty of getting those two things confused.
See.
And so I think to me, that's to your point, like we cut to the quick, to me, that's a much more aggressive version of definition of people pleasing. Because people pleasing, that we can go, I'm a guilty. Who's a people pleaser, right? I'm at an event, everyone raises their hand, that's me. And we're all like, oh, you too, me too. Not a big deal. It is what it is. And we're all like, oh, I'm so tired and exhausted. No one ever asked me how I am. You know, like if we really got to the root of what it really was. And so when I try to use that working definition for myself and then others is to go, wait, if you do love people and you do care about people and you do in fact want to serve people and you get great joy and energy from being able to provide some kind of value personally or professionally or relationally or emotionally to other people, then why is the desire to know that who I am and what I do is pleasing to someone, why have we turned that into a terrible thing?
Yeah, I mean, you got me. Honestly, I think within the recent years of learning of what you're saying is I don't like being in the limelight. I don't like the attention on me. I like being in a group. Of course, there are things that I like. I like to be individualized and be seen, but ultimately, I want to. It feels so.
Say it. Just say it.
I want to blend in, but I don't.
I agree.
And that's the battle I fight.
Okay, so tell me again what you want.
What I want?
What do you want?
To be memorable.
Okay. Could we end the statement there and that have nothing to do with anybody else? Can you be memorable and that doesn't mean you're taking away somebody else's opportunity to have a memory? Can you be memorable and that means that it doesn't mean that everybody else has to be forgotten?
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
So
and I was going to correlate that to even like within, building I don't know why I'm going to a business, but like what we do is we're not the only people that do what we do.
Correct.
They might do it the way we do it, and that's what makes us an individual.
That's right. I agree. But I think it goes back to then your ability to be an individual, your ability to have a desire to want to be memorable, your desire to be the only you that exists, doesn't have to be in conflict or contradiction with anybody else being them.
It's very true.
If your individuality seems to be more apparent, more powerful, more than someone who has yet to own that for themselves, why are you taking on the responsibility of somebody else's problem that they've been unwilling to address?
Because of service. I don't want somebody to feel left behind.
Great. But I would say, but it's coming at the cost of sacrifice.
Yeah.
So do I think the intention is service? I absolutely do. Do I think that you by nature are an includer and someone who you hate somebody seeing on the outside, you want to draw them in, you want to bring them closer, you want to make them feel a part of the group because you have been the person who's been on the outside and you know what that feels like and you don't want anybody to feel like that feels like? Yes?
Yes.
Of course. And not every person who gets an invitation to the party decides to show up. But don't let their lack of arrival be synonymous with the amount of invitations that you offered. You can only control the invitation.
Yeah.
You can't control the arrival.
It's a big statement. I mean, I think growing up, it's just like having this support, having this visibility, having this community felt like just like a big mass, a mass of people.
Mm.
And the older lessons I've learned and become as an adult, it's getting smaller and smaller.
Mm.
Very intentional around who I surround myself with, that I feel safe, in control or not, and accepted for who I am.
And on the surface, does that feel good or bad?
Feels great. Were you expecting that?
I was not. I mean, yes, I was expecting that. I was curious to know, is it easy?
No.
So there can be things in life that are great, but not easy.
Correct.
So there can be leaders who show their emotion, but it doesn't make them weak.
Yeah.
Your words, not mine. Just feed them back to you.
The mirror.
Mm-hmm.
The mirror that we can't hide from. I shouldn't say we, that I can't hide from.
Well, I know.
I'm not trying to hide from you.
It's appropriate. It's appropriate.
I'm not trying to hide from you.
It's appropriate to say we. We can't.
Yeah.
Me either.
I'm not trying to hide from you.
I don't think there are very many of us who are actively, thoughtfully, and intentionally trying to hide. I think that we are illiterate to the language to describe what we know to be true about who we are. And so in the absence of the appropriate words, we simply pick up a mask.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to show you something that is familiar to you than it is to describe something that only feels true to me.
But I'm going to push back on you because not in the opposite way. It feels like access. So even though my circle is becoming smaller, not everybody is given permission to the access that you know of Angelee.
100%. Well, now a lot of people know about Angelique, but prior to that, yes, I agree with you.
Like I see you.
Yeah, I agree with
see
you.
Me in these streets.
I was going to say, being shy, I've been to the club with you. I feel like I'm not sure how.
And see, not everybody.
Right.
Younger Angelee, for better or for worse, would always show up like that.
Mm.
And now, seeing that Angelee, you're like, oh, like, I feel like it's so vain. I don't know why. If you get to see that version of me, not everybody gets to see that version of me.
I think it's wonderful. And I think as let's sort of take this and relate this back to, I think maybe the folks like as a leader, I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Not every room I go into gets the exact same fullness of me.
Yeah.
There's no, if I'm on a stage and there's 500 people, you're only getting a certain I can only show you and give you and allow you access to so much.
Yeah.
I only have 45 minutes, 90 minutes with 500 of you that are only thinking all about yourselves, and my job is to help you think about yourself. You're not going to get that much of me. And I try to say this, I try to say from the stage every time, if you leave today knowing more about me than you know about you, then I failed you. Because I'm not going home with you. You're going home with you. Now, you would not expect the people who see me speak on stage to get the same version that a one-on-one client gets with me that speaks with me an hour a week, every single week for a year. And that person wouldn't expect it the same thing from me that my wife gets from me, who sees me 24/7, and wouldn't expect it the same thing from me that my kid gets from me, right?
Yeah.
We would look at all of that trajectory and go, of course. And then I think we tend to look at our life and we look at our friends and we look at our work and we look at our business and we look at clients or even a potential client or why would it be any different there?
It shouldn't.
And so I think there are some parts of us that we can allow to be seen, that we don't have to hide, that not everybody's going to be ready for. And that's okay. But how much freer to feel like we can give ourselves the ability to show up and at the baseline be us as often as possible. It's a really good litmus test for whether or not they do or they don't belong.
I'm giggling inside because, as we started this conversation, I felt like, how am I going to show up today? What are we going to talk about? Where is this going to take us? And going back to where we started the conversation, I was like, God, I hope my emotions don't get the best of me. Oh, I hope I don't start crying on screen. And I repeat that in this moment because we've made our way through to this point of the conversation, and it's like nerves are subsiding. It's just two friends having a conversation. And if it comes, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very disarming in this moment. And I feel safe. Not as control is a word, but it's not that. I feel safe.
I want for you to be reminded, encouraged, whatever the right word is. I don't want to take away the participative nature of me being with you, because that's not the intent. But I believe that the majority of the reason you feel the way you feel right now is because of you, not because of me. And again, that's not to take away the reality of having a human-to-human interaction.
No.
I say that because I want to make sure that you don't leave today, and or anyone listening and joining us who may feel similar to you. I don't want you to leave today thinking that means that you have the ability and freedom to be yourself and for yourself to feel safe and in control and disarmed and so on, only upon there being another person who's willing to help you get there. Does it make it better and easier and faster? Yes. Like that's called like having really good friends that like it wouldn't matter what environment that Sarah and I saw you guys in. It all feels the same. No matter where we are. We could be at dinner, we could be at a pool, we could be dancing. It doesn't matter. It all feels the same, right? Like it's an immediate place to land. So we don't want to take away that, whether that's in friendship, whether that's in leadership, whether that's with the people we lead, that's our business partners. Like it's the whole reason other human beings exist is for other human beings.
Yeah.
And the next comment doesn't take anything away from any of that being true. And you are comfortable because you chose to show up as yourself. You were at ease because you, at some point early in the conversation, made the decision that I'm just not going to fight it anymore.
Yep. 100%.
Right? Like
100%.
But I just want to encourage you that all of that is done by you, which says that you are capable, which says that it is possible, which says that it is who you are. Go back to our upside down, that it does say that when you, not me, not us, you, when you show up as human and you lead with emotion, it is disarming to others, which leads itself to candor.
And to add to your point, I don't know any other way. But what I do know is this emotional part makes me human, makes me relatable, comes with life lessons. I don't think I would want to be any other way. I don't know how to be any other way.
I think the second statement is exponentially more powerful than the first. And I think they're both amazing. But the fact that you don't know how to be any other way as a result of the fact that you don't want to be any other way, that maths.
Because right now in this moment of you saying this, repeating back to what I said, it's like, all I can think about is this watery eye just about to drop. And I'm just like, can you not? Can you not?
And I want to tell you that everybody who is currently watching is thinking, for the love of God, let it drop. So that's the fully human. That's the portion that says, I get to be like her. That's the portion that says she understands me. That's the portion that says it wasn't a show. That's the portion that says, I want to work with them. That's the portion that says, why does she care so much? That's the portion that for most people, when you feel uncomfortable, that's them asking themselves questions they wouldn't have asked otherwise if you weren't willing to be the person to be the initiator to say, I'm going to show up as myself. Yeah. And that translates both personally and it translates professionally, even in what it is that you all do. Your intent is to show the fullness of whatever it is, the business that it is that you're working with. Most of the reason they don't is not because they shot it in 1080 as opposed to 4K. That's not most businesses' problem. We want to make it the problem. We want to make the fact that we didn't have the right microphone from TikTok the problem. We want to make it that we shot it vertically as opposed to horizontally. Now we can't share it on YouTube the problem. None of those things are the problem. The problem is that we're not willing to show up and to be ourselves and to be human and to trust that we will attract the person that needs to be attracted.
In the connection.
As somebody who has no advanced degree, who barely graduated college, who's never had a real job, who's never had a corporate gig, who doesn't have an MBA, who's never had a 9-figure exit, who was not a professional athlete, who kind of lived like a basic, regular life for the majority of their life. I often find myself asking myself the question, how did I get in this room? And I'm not knocking any of these things, but I didn't buy my way there.
Yeah.
I didn't know someone. And that's not me making me better or worse. It's just a question I have to ask myself is, how did this happen? But I say all that because I keep coming back to what you just said. It's because I don't know any other way.
Yeah. You showed up as you.
Other than trying to just create human connection. And to be clear, I have lived a large portion of my life for a lot of other reasons that were not human connection, and it didn't go so well. So do not hear me. I didn't arrive here because I've always done this. But in all those other scenarios where I was fighting, in all those scenarios where I was trying to exist, and all the other scenarios where I thought I needed to belong, were because I was longing for human connection. But I was showing up being who I thought you needed me to be in order to connect with me.
And I'm laughing and giggling because it's the mark, right? Like, yeah, I go back to the point of the person that you get to see in the element of themselves. Used to have so much access, and now I know that she needs protection. Because not everybody deserves access.
Sounds like someone who's transitioned from sacrifice into service.
And it's tough because service.
But now, go back to the definition we were using earlier. But if you have limited access, to me, it means you have a much greater control of the expenditure. Therefore, I can give from the overflow of myself because I love you service, rather than feeling like I have to lose a portion of myself so that you'll love me sacrifice. Because I have set a boundary, not designed to keep things away, designed to keep what I love most in. And those boundaries have protected me so that I have enough in the reservoir that when the time is right and appropriate, I am excited to serve.
No, absolutely. And I think that also goes to the example. I don't know if it is like this for you, but for me, I'm better one-on-one. I feel less distracted. I feel like I have more to give. And I can slow down and listen.
And I think that's a unique gift that you have. It's not a everybody thing. Some people hate one-on-one. Some people would much rather be in a group. Some people hate both. Some of us love all of it. But
it depends on how much energy I have.
Yeah.
And I think that, yeah, being one-on-one just revitalizes my battery. Because my intention is to slow down.
We're going to go through our equation one more time because it's going to be my encouragement to you. Okay?
I'm listening.
When you show up as human, you allow yourself the permission to fully express yourself emotionally, which typically allows the walls to come down in order to increase the candor, to have greater depth in your interactions, which probably comes at a slower pace so that not only do you allow yourself to be seen, but I think the great return of that is that you provide the opportunity for other people to feel like they've been seen as well.
Yes, absolutely.
And regardless of your business, that might be the greatest gift that you can offer someone when you show up as you and you lead with emotion.
Which also, my heart is like racing inside. The heart of emotion.
Yeah. It's because our bodies are really smart. Yeah. And I think that's your body saying, hey, that's us. I so appreciate you.
Yeah. Same.
I appreciate you being with us.
It's been such a pleasure. And it's easy. It's easy to, as I just described, to show up with you and be here in this moment.
I appreciate that. I'll take that. If you ever feel like Angelee, that there's something about you, whether it's emotion, maybe it's logic, maybe it's something altogether different, and you find yourself saying, how can I sort of leverage who I am and show up fully in that way that I don't feel like it's at the detriment of myself or somebody else? I want to encourage you. Go to rockygarza.com/confidence. I have a monthly leadership training that I'm doing this month. I would love to have you or your team or your friend or whoever else, your business partner, join us. It's totally free, but would love to walk you through the very thing that Angelee and I talked about today. And again, you can get that at rockygarza.com/confidence. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. Don't forget to join us this month for our leadership training. You can register you and your team at rockygarza.com/confidence.